My name is Paula Solminihac. I'm a Chilean artist. I'm based in Santiago. The core of my work, I may say, it's attached to ceramic, and I have been since I am 20 years researching about this material, but not about the material, but more than the processes that occurs between the raw, the cook, and the rotten, and that processes that happens on this kind of material that I work with. It makes me think all the time about our own matter, our own human condition, and what happens with us between we are born and we are going to die, and all these things that define us as human beings, as the flesh, but also that impossible thing to attach, that is the soul and the spiritual life, and questions that are far beyond our concrete existence. So ceramics, I found it by chance. I don't know how to say it in English. When I was studying art, and it was like an immediate flash. I don't know if it's soft materials, the feeling in the hands, the way that it can be touched by hands and worked by anybody. I really don't feel that I am an artist that has so deeply knowledge of some kind of technique, but I am very brave to get into materials that I don't know and try and start to work with them when I love them. So clay always do that. It's very kind with everybody. Persons that are professionals or that work with crafts, or persons that haven't had touched in any moment of their lives the clay. It has like that kind of hospitality, or no sé, welcoming. All the time that I'm working with different materials, perhaps in this piece that we are seeing on my bag, that it's mainly made by fabrics, I am thinking all the time in clay. When I do photograph, for example, I think about the firing process between the living moment and the photo as a cook moment. So it's for me the same as that happens in ceramics. So even though I'm not working on ceramics, I'm all the time thinking about that, and that's about the matter. But about the shape, there is here also another in the bottom of the fog catcher is a piece that I call the black pond, that has this very important shape, that is the first shape that is raised from the earth, from the clay process, that is the vase or the plate, this object that contains food to eat or water to drink, and that is very symbolic because also it's the woman possibility to give birth. So ceramic interested me as a matter, but also as a shape, as this shape, to be the possibility of contain, give life, contain water. I feel sometimes I am the material, no? You know, I'm clay. And when I first read about myth of origins of ceramic, and I read about this myth where woman was indistinguished between its material and its work doing vases, I think I feel something there. When I became a mother, I understand many things about that, because something goes out here, and it's very when an artist gets that kind of identification with its matters, something happens that is very difficult to traduce, and I think that's great, because good art that I and all these huge artists that are here try to do, needs to be resist translation. It's not a language, it's an expression. So that's the nice and difficult part of art, when you could not translate something, and I'm here talking to you and trying to make these translations. But what I'm really trying to do is to express some things that I feel, and I think, I dream that this work may have that kind of relation with the public that came here to the Biennale. Each of the works that are here, to express something, to maintain a life, and to be, not to talk, to be the main issue of the Biennale, that is to talk about water as a symbol of living, and all the problems that we are living today in our planet about that kind of living. We have been hanging out all these days with artists and curators and having these night talks with wine. And one thing that we are all the time going, it's like how human beings talk about nature all the time, like as if we were another thing, not nature. And maybe sometimes forgetting that we are part of nature. So I think that it's very important to recall that we are not just like taking care of something because we domain something. It's just about recognizing that we are nature and that we are taking care of each other. And that I think that when we understand that, or when we open the eyes and say, wow, I am water, I am soil, I am animal, I am vegetable, you learn to live more humilely, and with an honest approach to be empathic and to be solidarity, and also have solidarity. When Donna Haraway talks about the symbiotic series, I am you. You know, there's a kind of reflection there. That's why I also want to do that pond, because ponds reflects what is on top of them. So when you are seeing to the ground, you are at the same time seeing to the sky. So you understand that while it's up, it's down, and that everything is related. And you're seeing at the ground. And as the work has this other part that are clay worms, but they're hanging on the air. There is some kind of circularity there also, because worms are invisible to our eyes. They live underground, and they do all their living and work, if we may say that underground. It's invisible to us, even though it's a very important part of the cycle of life. So hang them in the air it's a kind of homage to them, but mainly what we see there, it's a constructive system that is made by this gesture, like the pinky promise, that is a compromise with another person, an engagement. It's also a way of showing how important it is to be aware of our ecosystem.